As entrepreneurs, we are gaslighting each other if we don't talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the big F word. Failure. We are all going to experience hardship and failure at some point in our business, often every day. And anyone who tells you that they haven't experienced this or it's just not been a big deal for them is probably lying to you. So here's how you get through those episodes where you feel like a failure, or maybe you actually are failing, and you just need that pick-me-up to help you through that hard time. Welcome, I'm Christina Scalera, and I have failed a lot. I also help people to work when they want to, not when they have to, through creating digital download products and engaging content that captivates their audience. I can't even tell you the number of businesses I've started, but I can at least tell you that I know I'm running 2 right now. I started a horse breeding business when I was in school. That was a bad idea. I started a yoga teacher business after school, and that was also a very bad idea. But the good thing about all these things that failed was that they led me to what I'm doing now. I gained a lot of sales experience, especially dealing with really pushy men in the horse breeding thing. I gained a lot of confidence in public speaking and doing video content as I tried to be a yoga teacher. So there's little aspects of all these failures that I've been able to bring into my life and that have made me quote unquote successful and in front of you here today. If you're feeling like a failure and you don't see the way out just yet, please know that there might be another side of this coin for you in the future. You just don't know when or where that's going to happen. But the first thing you'll want to do if you do feel like your business is not doing as well as it should be by now is change your mindset. A lot of people think mindset is like a t-shirt or something that you can put on and take off. As if they put the right t-shirt on, the right mindset on today, then everything's gonna work out in their favor. But the thing is, your mindset is not a state of being. It's with you all the time. And that's good news because it means that you always get the opportunity to work on what your mindset is. Honestly, the hardest work that you will ever do around mindset is just starting to notice when you are having those feelings of hopelessness or failure or just that not good enoughness. That is the hardest part of this journey. And when you do have those moments, that's an opportunity for you to just notice that it's happening. This is something I work with my clients on all the time when they think their shop isn't good enough to launch or their products aren't competitive enough with what else is out there, or they're not charging enough, but they don't know how to charge more. This is what I work on with them. Just noticing when they are getting down on themselves or having a bad day, or like what their inner dialogue is as they are going through this, and noticing how they talk to themselves or the kinds of moments they have where they're putting themselves down saying like, this isn't going to be good enough. You should wait until you're better. You should wait until you're older. You should have done it when you were younger, right? Like all those little tiny things. For me, that doesn't come through as like a voice. People have talked about it as if it's like another person. For me, I don't notice it like that. It's more of a feeling where I start to feel a little bit anxious. I start to feel a little bit worried. And then I can kind of tap into that and realize, oh yeah, this is what's happening right now. I'm feeling not good enough to do what I'm about to do. So don't be alarmed if it doesn't happen in the form of a voice and everybody's telling you that this is like the voice inside your head, because like it might not be a voice. If you are committed to figuring out when this little inner voice or feeling is happening for you, then drop an emoji below that represents how you would rather feel inside when it happens. And if you want to leave a little note next to it, I respond to every single comment, so make sure you do that. Once you have a good grip on when this is happening, when you're starting to feel like a failure, or like when you're starting to slip into these bad patterns or habits because you're not feeling good enough, the next thing to do is take a practical look at what is actually going on. This is a perfect time to take a look at what you're spending money on in your business and figure out if you really still need all of those expenses. So oftentimes, if we haven't done this in a while, there's things that have just been kind of like adding up, some software that you haven't used in a few months. maybe a subscription that you mean to look at, but you just haven't for a year. Those kinds of things are perfect to start purging and getting rid of so that you can create that literal space in your life for new possibilities to come in. Plus, it's going to get rid of some of that drag financially that you were experiencing if any of your failures had to do with the amount of money that your products were bringing in. One thing that I like to work on when I find I can't really concentrate on creative tasks because I'm just feeling like a failure or just feeling kind of sad or lonely or whatever is going on in my life, I like to try to focus on tasks that don't involve that creative thinking, like organization, and figuring out how I could be better organized in my inbox or in my project management software. These are all opportunities for me to do something that is kind of mindless for me, just kind of cleaning things up, checking tasks off that have been completed, and making sure everything is up to date. It's also a good time in your business or your life to focus on some of those more administrative tasks, like making sure your LLC is up to date or that your website links are all working, just something that doesn't require a lot of energy when you are in this low energy state. The next thing I like to do is when I find that energy coming back or I just get a little burst of inspiration or motivation, I like to start to do some of the revenue generating activities. And if money is what's keeping you down, then this could be a perfect way for you to overcome whatever is happening. It is so powerful when you can take yourself from a state of feeling depressed and lethargic and into a state of feeling empowered and excited because you made things happen for yourself. Just knowing that this is possible for you, that you do have it within your means to lift yourself out of this low, lethargic energy state and into something more positive and affirming for your future is so helpful. And then finally, look at the reasons why you might be here in the first place. Oftentimes, I find business owners feeling like they are a failure when they're not managing their money well inside their business. If you find cash flow is tight or dwindling down to nothing, it might be time to start planning that next promotion or launch. And I'd ask yourself what you were doing before this started to dwindle. So when was the last kind of boom period you've had in your business? And what did you do to contribute to that? Was there a launch? Was there some kind of promotion, a collaboration? Did someone share you out unexpectedly? Ask yourself what caused that so that you can replicate that if needed, or you can get creative and make a modification on that. So something similar has to happen and you execute on that. Everything we covered here today doesn't have to be done all at once. In fact, that would be pretty overwhelming if you're in that low energy state. What I recommend doing instead is just taking one simple action every single day that you're not feeling up for really working super hard in your business, and let that build some momentum for you. So maybe one day it's just opening up that online course portal that you haven't accessed in a while, or maybe it's watching this YouTube video. That definitely counts as one. Giving it a like is another one, and a subscribe is a third. So there you go. There's 3 things that you've already done today to help contribute to a higher, more positive energy vibe. It's those little tiny wins that are going to build up, and eventually you're going to be able to look back and say like, wow, I can't believe I got so much done when I wasn't feeling that great. But that's how it happens. And if you're feeling the crunch of money especially hard right now, I created a video just for you all about my non-traditional path to financial freedom as an entrepreneur. And no, it's not like the typical garbage that you've heard before, because that didn't work for me. So you want to check out what I did instead, that probably a lot of financial gurus would be like, huh? But if you know, you know. You'll see what I mean. So go watch that video next. It just popped up on your screen. And thank you so much for being here this week. I'll see you next time.